We're at day 74 of the golf course renovation. We've had wonderful weather over the last 2 months. We've had many new members join the crew. We've had every fairway be seeded to hopefully grow grass here if the weather continues to be as it has been more recently. So we're thankful for everyone's efforts to get us to this point and to stay on schedule for reopening in the 2026 golf season. As we're moving along in the project, as we're seeing more details come into view, the element that I wanted to discuss today was around how the bunkers and the ditches are not just hazards, but they're also strategic elements of the design of the golf course. You have the sight line of the bunker matching the horizon and the shape of the green. Tyler Ray's done and his team have done a wonderful job to be meticulous not only in the placement of the bunkers, but also how they're shaped into the slopes to match what might be ahead of them, to give this deception of where the bunkers are in relation to one another or to the green. So a hole like 10 North, you could be in the middle of the fairway 150 yards away from the green, and it'll make those three bunkers that are really 100 yards away from the hole almost look like they're green side, because they are well positioned not only in the fairway but also in relation to the horizon line from your approach shot. And 13 North offers another question. It's not just how straight or how far we hit a shot, it's also what direction. You're getting more depth in the strategy of each golf hole. 13 North has a bunker that's maybe 30 or 40 yards off the front edge of the green surface that may seem random, but it's well placed for those who are either attempting to drive a short par 4 for those who can do that, or it's well placed for someone's recovery shot. And if you leave it in a bunker of that distance, we all know that's the most fun place to be, which is a 50-yard bunker shot into a tough green. That's not a whole lot of fun. 15 North is the place where you're seeing the ditch work really come into view. And before, there was a green side bunker on the right that would catch some errant shots. Now it's the ditch, and it's bringing in that historical functionality of how do we move water off the golf course. So the ditch is a functional element. It's also a great design feature for how do we think through the golf hole. 18 is really the prime example of that. If we test the left-hand side of the fairway, if we test that ditch in our drive, we've got the preferred angle into the green where we see the entire surface. The further right we go on the drive, the worse our angle becomes into that green. So it really becomes an interesting strategic element. 4 North is a center line bunker. Again, a similar principle to 10 North, where you see the bunker really deceive the eye of how far that is away from the green. I think that offers the question of on the tee shot, how far we hit it, and also what direction, what side of the fairway do we really want to be on to get the best shot into the green. And 7 North, we feature this a lot because this really encompasses a lot of the full, complete thought of how good design can also be beautiful and interesting, and good strategy, because these bunkers are placed so well along the horizon line of the rest of the hole that from the tee box, you're thinking these front fairway, even before fairway bunkers, are placed right on the green surface. They can be intimidating. And, that's what I like about what we're seeing today, is that the hazards are not just, penalties, but they're also strategy.